Welcome, explorers, to Exploragonians, Travel Misadventures podcast.
I'm Katie.
I'm Jordan. We are a married couple who talk about different parts of the world that we have been to or bring people on to discuss about them and shenanigans that we have gotten into either on purpose or inadvertently.
And this week, we're talking about Ashland, Oregon.
And we're talking about, I think, the worst play, it might have been called a musical, I've ever seen in my whole life.
That's right. Happy birthday.
We also talk about the origins of the name Ashland, Oregon, which
It's disturbing.
It's not great, not happy about it. And we talk about this huge, ridiculous, beautiful park.
Stay tuned.
So come along with us, explorers, to Ashland, Oregon. Vengeance!
No.
1, 2, 3, 4. Why are you laughing?
I don't know, because I don't know what that sound was that you made.
Can you imitate it?
It's like, I was like, what?
Well, I was slumped over trying to get this, podcast thing started, hitting the R on the
This
keyboard.
podcast thing?
Yeah, this is a podcast thing.
Can we talk about Ashland yet?
For Ashland! Do you think people just love that I keep doing For Ashland? Do you know what that reference is?
Yes. It's the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I just feel like you're loud in my ear doing For
Ashland!
Can we tone it down just like a...
I'm pointing it towards our, buffalo skull
Don't like
back
that
there.
your hand is going up.
Like what?
No.
Like in what shape is it evocative of? What war does this look like it should
I'm
be a
not
part of?
to talk about it. Just put your hand down.
I'm putting them down. So, Chronicles of Narnia. Iconic book. Even more iconic movie. Name me 2 of the novels within the Chronicles of Narnia.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Ding ding. That's not even the first book chronologically.
The
Well, it is chronological. Well, it's not the first book in that story. But I think it was
Closet.
The Closet? It's called The Wardrobe.
Is it called the Wardrobe?
The Lion, the Witch, and the Closet?
No. I don't know what the other books are.
Wait, do you think one of the Chronicles of Narnia books is called The Closet?
No, I was giving a joke there and admitting I don't know the other books.
So the Chronicles of Narnia, very Christian coded. So if you call it The Closet, it sounds like an LGBTQ book, or maybe it's a positive one.
Okay, what are the other books?
Well, there's the...
Name me 2.
And
you can't use The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Well, there's Prince Caspian. There's Voyage of the Dawn Treader. There's the last battle.
Dawn Shredder?
Not Dawn Shredder. Dawn's Shredder.
That's what I heard.
Dawn's shredding business.
Turtle time.
So, I named a few. There's also Silver Chair. That might be one. Oh, The Magician's Nephew. That might be one.
Have you read these?
I've perused.
So what about it?
Anyway, Chronicles of Narnia. So in Prince Caspian, the film version of that,
That is not the book. This is a book only.
Oh, excuse me. Okay, well, in the book to movie adaptation, at some point they adapted something they liked from the book. Anyway, I don't remember the story. Aslan's gone again. He's just kind of gone and back, like Jesus does.
Sure.
So they've amassed a group to go to war because that's just what we do. And so in this little council that's been created, they're all doing for Aslan. And then out of nowhere, giant talking bear shows up and goes, for Aslan. And it's my favorite thing. And Narnia Bear, as I have deemed him, was the name of my fantasy football team. So when I go, for Ashland,
that is a reference to Narnia Bear during Prince Caspian.
The film.
Excellent. Based off the book.
I've heard, which is based off Christianity.
I'm going to make
Which
you
was
read
also
it.
based off a book. So it's a book based off a book. Whoa. We just inceptioned Narnia. So.
I'd like to move on.
With that, welcome to our very special episode all about the Southern Oregon Gem.
Very special.
Ashland!
Ashland, Oregon.
Are you prepared for unnecessary facts about Ashland that might ruin the name Ashland for you?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It
was weird.
Okay, so you clearly went on a deep dive.
No, I just went on a dive.
Well, before you ruin it,
scalps.
Let's just talk about. Did you even know about Ashland growing up?
I knew that it was a place with a name.
You saw it on a map?
I don't think it's even on a map. It's like Oregon's maps, it's like, hey, have you heard of Portland? Have you heard of Salem? If you're lucky, you might get a Eugene on there. Bend sometimes. Otherwise, that's all we care about. It's like this little quadrant.
Ashland could be on the map. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
You show me one political map with Ashland on it. That's probably there are them. So no, I didn't really know. And I also had even less knowledge about Oregon Shakespeare Festival and why it's important. So I didn't really understand or appreciate Ashland. Also because of the fact Ashland is fairly far away from where we are on the northwest part of Oregon.
How far?
5 hours? By the way the crow flies.
If I'm driving.
It would be 4.
Great.
Yeah, so I didn't really have any sort of concept of Ashland as a place. I knew that my aunt had enrolled in Southern Oregon University, which is in Ashland, and was once called the Oregon Normal School. Southern Oregon Normal School.
Oh, great.
What a weird name.
Wait,
she didn't go.
Oh, she enrolled?
Maybe she went for a minute, but then she transferred. Anyway, hi, Patty.
Wow.
So, what about you? Ashland.
Yeah, because I looked at going to Southern University.
Southern University or Southern Oregon University?
Southern Oregon University that's based out of Ashland. And...
Not the normal school?
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh my Aslan.
Just let me get through this, okay? So yeah, I had heard of Ashland. I'm trying to think, maybe there was somebody else I knew who lived there. I don't know. When I think of Ashland, I just think of hot weather. I've only been to Ashland when it's super hot.
Yeah,
And so... I don't know. I assume it gets cold. Maybe it snows there. I don't know.
Definitely does. Because it's at the base of both the Siskiyou and the Cascade Ranges. It's in that. It's kind of in the middle of both those.
Ashland is also almost to California. So right, we're at the bottom of the state of Oregon. How close to the California border?
I think it's 10 miles maybe.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, no, Ashland. I went as a teenager with my family, cruised through, stopped.
What'd you do?
Well, I don't know what we did.
So
I played at the park.
As a teenager?
Yeah, because I'm cool like that.
Push me on the swings, Daddy!
Whoa.
Daddy! What, you don't like that? You don't like you being pushed by your dad? I think your dad would probably... Was your dad a good swing pusher?
Still is.
I've never been...
He'd probably do it if you let him.
I've never been pushed on a swing by your father.
Not yet.
So
you got to go to Ashland.
Okay, that sounds good. So did you spend any sort of considerable time in Ashland? It sounds like it was a stopover.
No, I did not at that point.
That's so sad. So why did you want to go to Southern Oregon then?
There must have been some program that I was interested in, but also I probably just wanted to get away from it all, right? It was let's go somewhere that people aren't talking about going to.
Yeah.
But see, I kind of think in my mind it closed. So I must have been looking at something specific. Maybe there was a dance program there that they got rid of. I don't know.
Yeah, so
there was some draw and it went away. So then I let it go.
Well, so did you spend more time there after the teenage years?
Well, I went with you.
Okay. I don't know if those count. So the first time I went to Ashland, we were on a road trip to California.
See?
Specifically, Los Angeles and Disneyland.
Oh. No one needs to know that.
We had stopped by. We just swung by Ashland because you were like, oh, it's so great. No. And yeah, we went to Lithia Park, the iconic park of Ashland.
Where I was playing as a teenager, I guess.
And where we played as people in our mid-20s.
I think what I liked about Lithia Park is I felt like I was really impressed by the play equipment at that time. It was a top tier park for me in that moment, and I just feel like it's a really pretty. It's a pretty park.
Well, let's get into it. So Lithia Park, the City of Ashland website considers it. Well, they don't consider it. They just state that it is Ashland's crown jewel, which is a pretty big swing considering the Oregon Shakespeare Festival is there. One of the largest, if not the largest, repertory theaters in the U.S. It's just this massive thing.
What's a repertory theater?
It's something very good. So for Ashland to be the crown jewel is a Lithia, I mean, that's pretty, they're very confident in that. So Lithia Park, it's about 100 acres. It's huge. So
that is significantly larger than I thought.
That's what she said. So there's a pickleball court there. They have sandpit volleyball. They have swim reservoirs. It might be plural. It might be singular. I'm not sure. There's a place to swim. That is a reservoir. Playground. And on the website, it described colorful landscaping.
That's right.
Which, I'm not sure what that meant. Also, a Japanese garden.
Well, I mean, I think that's great. It's nice that they have that.
Oh my God, Lithia is amazing. But it started as only 8 acres, and that was in like 1892. And so from there, they just kept building and growing Lithia.
Like buying up surrounding areas, or what?
I'm not sure if they bought it or if it was donated. I can't imagine they went on this conquest, but maybe.
Save Ashland's like, we're gobbling this up, adding it to the park.
So in 1974, a flood washed out like all the vegetation in Lithia Park. And so they basically had to start over, I guess. So they had to restore it. And then wouldn't you know it, another flood came in 1997. So I think we
wouldn't know anything about that.
Devastating floods. Mm-hmm. So they did something to add resiliency to Lithia Park. So I don't know if they just kind of like raised things up, or I don't know what they did.
Okay.
Need to ask like an engineer. But hopefully safe from floods. Maybe they built an ark for Ashland.
Oh my God. Well, I feel like we almost had an Ashland expert on here, but I didn't ask her to come on.
Oh, that's really awkward. So what about Lithia Park besides the playground, which was an excellent playground? What else do you remember about Lithia?
I think there was nice walking paths and pretty foliage.
Trees.
It was very green, and I mean, and probably I really liked it because, like I said, Ashland was really hot, and I was like, let's find some shade. And yeah, I love hot weather and the sunshine, but it doesn't like me because of my pale skin, so I have to hide. So I think if I can be protected amongst the trees, I'm happy.
I mean, you do look like a porcelain doll.
I know.
Poor thing. But so Lithia also there's like a pigeon or something outside, and I'm not happy about that.
Why? It's nature. It's
pigeons,
natural.
They're like rats with wings.
Whoa.
Hear that, pigeon?
Is...
There are cooler birds, and that is an invasive bird.
Okay.
If it was a heron, that'd be great. So Lithia Park, I also appreciate that they have like creeks, there's like water features, but also it like butts up right against the downtown.
Which is nice. It's accessible, right? So you can be trekking around, walking around Ashland, which is cute as a cute downtown. And then just hike your little tush.
Jinx.
Tush up to the park. Apparently, did you say 100 acres?
Allegedly. I think
Is it too many? Is it too big?
I think they could double it. Easy. Take out the downtown, more park.
That's right.
I really appreciate a town that really invests in like a park like that, because where we live, I mean, there's like so much beautiful land and opportunity here on like the rural Oregon coast. But like, I'm going to say it right now, our public parks suck.
I know. They're not great.
No. I mean, I thought parks were lame. Like, it was like, oh, you're going to go to the park? I was like, why would I want to go to a park? Our parks suck.
Yeah, no, I think that like in our travels, this has been like a new thing, like a new discovery that we're like, oh my God, let's check out this park. And hopefully more areas are investing in nice parks that are accessible and really, just I guess more accessible, like accessible to kids and adults and family, like free family fun and
free family
fun.
So yeah, Lithia Park also. So all these compliments are it was listed in the top 10 Great American Spaces by the American Planning Association at some point, some year.
Excellent.
Yeah. Also, in my research of Ashland, I've noticed that they are, like the travel organizations and different things, maybe even like their city website, they are obsessed with throwing out these like, oh, Ashland was named top 10, like top 10, top 10 beautiful eyebrows all belong in Ashland. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was crazy. Because there was this one, there was also this like, oh, great, Ashland is a part of the top 10 best small art towns in America. But it's maybe based off of this. I couldn't find a recent one, but maybe there's this book that came out and like, maybe it started in the 90s, maybe before, and they update it with new editions.
What's it called?
I think it's called like the best 100 small art towns in America or something. I think this is what they're referencing. The most recent time Ashland has been on this list that I saw was the 2005 edition. That's the last one. I don't know if they've updated it since. Yeah, Ashland's...
Well, maybe that's when I initially went to Ashland. So yeah, I was there for peak season.
Yeah, you read that book?
That's
You're
right.
like, ooh, small art towns. But, you read that and you're like, oh, best 10 small art towns. Very, it's a mouthful. But I do think that Ashland was very proud of, like, not only its, like, fine arts, but obviously the performance arts. I mean, it was really impressive.
I mean, yeah, I think Ashland has grown. I mean, Oregon has just become so popular. And so, with popularity comes a lot of people moving. And I mean, I think that Ashland has changed as just Oregon in general. And so from my first visit to like zoom ahead to when you and I went, well, even
on our road trip or for my birthday a couple years ago.
I'm going to say to your birthday a couple years ago.
Okay. But we didn't spend too much time in Ashland when we went for my birthday. We were stationed in Medford, which is outside of Ashland. Much less fun than Ashland, I think.
That's true. It's not as walkable. It's
Right. I mean, I really was enamored with Ashland's like downtown. They put a lot of good work into it. There's a lot of good energy. I think there's a lot of like, James Beard nominated restaurants, maybe even winning restaurants in Ashland. I think it just has a lot of good things going for it. And so walking around, I was like, man, there's like so much like going on. It's like so alive. It's buzzing. It's a university town. It has the Oregon Shakespeare Festival there. Mm-hmm. And I was walking around being like, I wish we were staying here. I mean, Ashland might be just one of those places that like maybe you and I move to. I mean, I feel like it could be one of those places for us.
Mm-hmm.
So Ashland for you, I think is an interesting case because, when you don't have necessarily like a lot of information about a town or a city or an area, even a country, and you meet somebody who becomes like your avatar for that area.
Like an ambassador. Right.
And so you're able to like project things about an entire area based off of your interactions with one person.
Right. So even though like I haven't spent a lot of time in Ashland, it feels like I have for some reason. It's like my cousin who we featured on
Tanzania cousin
on the Tanzania episode, her very good friend Maddie is from Ashland. And so when I was 18 or something, I met her. And I had just been to Ashland, so I was like, oh, as we just whatever.
I love your park.
Yeah, and so it was just like, oh yeah, Ashland. And so then I think it just brought up a lot of like happy memories, and I think she would just always talk about, I don't know, how cool she was being from Ashland. But she is super outdoorsy, and so is her family. And so in my mind, if you're living in Ashland or if you're from Ashland, you're active, you're outdoorsy.
She's also fun and engaging and gregarious and talented and
any
superlative you want to throw out.
Maddie.
Ugh, Maddie.
Anyway, not on the pod because I didn't ask her.
Yeah, she'd bring all that positive energy. You'd feel like you were meeting a celebrity.
Classic.
So with that, we do project a lot on it to Ashland based off of this one person. And I do think just bringing it back to like, I think we have warm and fuzzy feelings about different areas based off the people that we met there.
That's right, which is a beautiful thing. And it's like, and it also goes to show that there is great people and connections to be made everywhere around the world. And like, right, your connection to someone can totally make or break your opinion of a place.
Mm-hmm. Like we've met people and we're like, oh, you're from that place? I don't think I ever need to go there.
Oh, God.
Okay, it's time for me to ruin it. The name Ashland for
All right,
you.
let's hear it.
The name Ashland, just throwing it out, what do you think that name, like what do you think it came from?
From a volcano and ashes are raining down.
I would love if that was the case. It is not. So
the town burnt down.
Oh God! And from the ashes, Ashland arose. We used to call this place Gregtown, and now it's Ashland. So it's like,
oh my God, Narnia.
This is Narnia. Welcome to Narnia. So it is named after a place that got its name from a different place. So it's like this transitive property. Like there's some trickle down with why Ashland is named Ashland.
Great.
Kind of involved. So a pioneer and maybe like the founder of Ashland, the town, Abel Hellman. So maybe he was like from this area or like knew of this Ashland Mills, which was a county in Ohio or maybe Kentucky or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the name Ashland Mills it comes from the name of a plantation of a 19th century Kentucky statesman in like Lexington. So the name Ashland is the name of a plantation, of this dude's estate. And this plantation, was like built by enslaved people. Enslaved people worked for him. Sounds like he wasn't a great person.
Lovely. Then he went to the white only state.
So no. So the guy who went to Oregon, this isn't the same guy.
Oh.
So this Ashland name, like, it spread, and so there's just like places around America. There's like a place in Virginia. There's a place in like Missouri and Wisconsin that all kind of like take this like Ashland name. And so because this pioneer in the city of Ashland, Narnia, was from an area that took its name from this plantation. So I mean, it's just like, it's named for something that was named for something else.
Wow.
So in a weird roundabout way, Ashland is named after this like plantation in Kentucky.
Great.
Weird, right?
That is disappointing.
Yeah, I was bummed. At first I was like, oh, it's cute that's named after a place in Ohio. And I was like, but what's up with that place in Ohio?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Wow. Is the plantation still around?
Guess so.
Oh, God.
We could go visit it.
Great.
The original Ashland. But I don't know why they named it Ashland, because the dude's name who like created it, like the name Ash doesn't appear anywhere.
It's a mystery, folks.
It's one of history's mysteries. It's probably not a mystery. Somebody has to know. But I no longer cared after I was like, ooh, plantation.
Do you think Ashland, Oregon, the people of Ashland know?
I'm sure many people are aware.
Yeah. Okay.
So now that I've ruined that name, let's move on to another crown jewel. What? Yes.
I was going to say, yeah, it does kind of taint it a little bit, doesn't it?
I'm sorry.
Okay, what? You want to move on?
I want to move on to Oregon Shakespeare Festival. But before we get there, I want to talk about the reason that Oregon Shakespeare exists.
Okay.
Is because in like the late 1800s, maybe, there was this group, this thing called the Chautauqua movement. Again, I might be pronouncing that wrong. It's spelled Chautauqua. Chautauqua movement. It maybe originated in New York State.
Okay.
Co-founded by like maybe a Methodist minister. But it was before they like united with the other sect. So it was a pre-United Methodist. So it was just singularly Methodist.
Got it.
So they wanted to bring, initially it was supposed to be like religious education. Like it was all kind of religious based, but then it grew to be about bringing culture and entertainment to rural areas of America. And
that's nice.
Teddy Roosevelt complimented it and had like very positive things to say about it. But yeah, they bring adult education and try to bring like I said, culture and entertainment to rural places. And so it include like general education, recreation, popular entertainment. So maybe like, John Philip Sousa like performed in Ashland, just these things that were going on.
Right.
So they came into Ashland in like 1893 and started building these like getting this property and building things to host these cultural opportunities.
Well, I mean, then it's like, how rural is Ashland at this point?
Well, I'm assuming fairly rural. I mean, it's still not that big.
It's not that big, but I mean, it's not as rural as we are.
Well, right. But I mean, what a great idea to go into rural places to be like, oh, you probably don't have access, especially then. Like you
uncultured people.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, that is nice.
Because I mean, if you think about Ashland, like what is the closest geographically area for them to like, consume culture?
That's true. I mean, like, right. Like it's not, well.
I mean, Eugene, maybe.
Medford's bigger than Ashland.
But I mean.
But that's just like kind of like the offshoot. It's more.
I mean, Ashland is so isolated in that way when you think about it, geographically where it's located.
Yeah.
I mean, is this pre-I-5? I imagine it's probably.
Yeah, no, I think that's true. Ashland is kind of off away from its own. And you think that, yeah, if they were going to like a bigger area, it probably would be Eugene, but that's not that close.
So, right. So they brought all this stuff in. It was an area that would bring people to be able to participate in different cultural opportunities. And eventually this movement died out in the 20s. I'm not quite sure why it died out, but I feel like it's almost to like the detriment of America.
World War II.
No, World War II. World War One would be around this area, probably post World War One.
Okay, World War One.
World War Two. World War Two. I want to talk about World War Two.
Yeah, my bad. World War One.
People just call it the World War.
Some people do call it.
Hey, are you talking about the prequel or the sequel?
Oh my God, it's that apple I had. All right.
So they had these buildings that went up, and so in 1917 they built this like big round, like dome-covered structure for some of these events. Eventually, it was tore down in 1933, but the cement walls still stood, and so eventually, this teacher at Southern Oregon University, then the normal school, felt like the walls resembled like the Elizabethan theaters that were from England back in that era, the Shakespearean era, if you will.
Was this professor from England?
No, he just had seen like, renderings. And so he went to the city of Ashland and was like, oh, well, this area would be perfect for like Elizabethan, I don't know how you pronounce that.
Yeah.
About this type of theater production. And so the city of Ashland agreed. And so from there, they started performing. And the first performance there was of Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. How much do you think a ticket was in 1935?
50 cents.
50 cents for general admission and $1 for a reserved seat.
Nice.
Well done.
Thank you.
Look at you. So it started in 1935, and then so that means this year is its 90th year of what became the Oregon Shakespeare Festival.
Nice. So how many theaters are there?
At Oregon Shakespeare Festival?
Mm-hmm.
I think there's
initially.
Well, initially there was just one for a really long time, and then I think maybe in the 70s they had the second one. I think there's 3 theaters.
Okay.
I think. So yeah, the Allen Elizabethan Theater is like the big one. That's the main stage. That's the outdoor theater. And it's gorgeous because you have the backdrop, which is always there. This like big kind of, half timber looking thing. Yeah. And then you have like the mountains in the background, and I felt like we were in bleachers when we went.
So let's back up. For Jordan's birthday one year, because you had talked about how it's like you'd always wanted to do the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, because I think living in Oregon, it's like, oh, Oregon Shakespeare Festival, and you're like, I don't know what that is. And I think that we touched on it in school.
I think we touched on it in school, as in this was a part of what Oregon Shakespeare Festival was doing, is that they would do like these classroom events or school events. And so they would send some of their people out to do like a little show. They would do like workshops. And so when I was maybe a junior, maybe I was a senior, but I think I was a junior, they brought them out. And so we had this like interaction with them. And I was, I think at the time.
To a class or like an assembly?
It was kind of an assembly. But then it was like only certain classes were able to like really take the workshop. And I wasn't a part of that. And I was very disappointed. But at this time, like, I don't think we were ever taught to like really love Shakespeare. We had read Shakespeare. But reading it is completely different than seeing it performed, because when we saw A Midsummer Night's Dream at the Armory, at the Portland Center stage, I think it just completely blew our mind for what Shakespeare could be watching it live. And so at that point, I think I almost had like contempt for Shakespeare. I was like, man, that's old and dumb and boring.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, that's so classic, right? When you don't understand something, you hate on it.
Exactly.
So,
but we didn't have like, I'm going to say we didn't have great teachers that made you love that. I think it just felt like one of those things was like, it was part of the curriculum where it's like, okay.
And maybe they didn't get it. They didn't want to do it. So, right. Like what we saw, they had brought somebody in from England who had studied Shakespeare, who was like remember this? It was like, he was able to help interpret what.
In school.
No,
you're talking about Portland Center Stage.
I'm talking about Portland Center Stage when we saw that.
Okay,
right, and it was just done so well, and it was like really breaking down a lot of things. And so when you're able to understand the material, you can really perform it well. And it's kind of like watching something in a different language, but it's like you can still follow along and understand and find entertainment and enjoyment out of it, almost like a silent film, except it's not.
So Oregon Shakespeare Festival every year. Currently, their modern their modern shows. Like, I think it's kind of split evenly. They'll do like half, maybe a third, like Shakespeare shows. And then the rest are either experimental shows or smaller shows. They're giving other opportunities for different playwrights to kind of get their shows started.
Mm-hmm.
And so we weren't able to get tickets for the Shakespeare show. I think they were doing Much Ado About Nothing. And that's like one of my favorite Shakespeare shows. I read it in college and I was like, this is awesome. And I learned like one of the monologues in it. I really wanted to see it. And then we didn't have time for it. Or it was like it didn't match up with our schedule somehow. Because the Elizabethan theater, like they'll kind of flip off between what's performing on there for what dates.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to do the Three Musketeers.
I feel like I decided.
You decided. What sounded fun?
I didn't really know the story, but in my mind, it was going to be a good time. And surprise, surprise, it wasn't.
It was so bad. There was a TripAdvisor review that I just read that gave it a 2-star. They're like, they don't understand Dumas's work and da-da-da-da-da-da.
So Jordan and I went with my dad.
We were in that area, and he could have given me a swing. We were in Ashland. He could have given me a swing.
But did you get on the swing? I think
No,
that's it.
I did not.
You put your ass on that swing.
So, yeah. So we go to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. So, as I said earlier, they'd built this like dome structure. The cement walls is what inspired this teacher to do Elizabethan theater.
Yeah.
Those stone walls are still there, like the cement walls. It's what you first go into. And so those walls are still there.
I mean, those are pretty impressive. I feel like built to last.
Clearly, they're like almost 100 years old or over 100 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy.
I mean, so yeah, if you go, just go for that.
Go for the walls,
I know,
man.
it's worth checking out for sure. Yeah. I wanted to go, and I wanted it to be a nice birthday present for you, to be able to finally go to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, to see this like live theater, and then the show
fell flat on its face.
I don't know that we really need to go into detail,
because
but
I love theater and I love weird things. But if we paid a premium for a show that I feel like was half-baked. Like there were some good ideas there, but the execution was poor.
Yeah.
Because part of the story is they were trying to do this like, I don't even want to say provocative, but like, I don't know, like a reimagining of what Dumas was trying to do with Three Musketeers. Because he's like a quarter like black Haitian or something. And so his father was maybe the first, I think the father was the first like black maybe general in French history. And everything was going well, and then he fell out of favor with Napoleon. Like something happened there. And so they lost like their family fortune. And so Dumas like ended up writing the Three Musketeers partly to reclaim that family fortune. And the playwright and director felt like they couldn't remove the art from the artist. Like they felt like those two things were intrinsic of each other. Like it had to be told that way. And so because of that, we got this weird kind of like Hamilton-inspired story where even though like the characters in the novel aren't being presented as people of color, in this show they are. And that's great. That's great to me. But it was like the other parts of the show that they felt like they need to retell got so weird. Like it was a musical, kind of. Like Dumas is there like singing these, and they're not catchy songs. The lyrics weren't good.
No, we had the projector at one point. It was like kind of corny.
The projector was used so poorly. It was comically bad because it was trying to emphasize very serious dramatic moments. Case in point, our protagonist D'Artagnan, his lover is murdered. And so he finds her and she's dying in his arms. And then what we do, the projectors flare on. And again, it's summer. So like the sun hasn't really gone down. So projecting technology is probably not the best to use in an outdoor theater anyway. So what they do is they project D'Artagnan's mouth. Was it 2 mouths or just the one?
I almost feel like it was 2, like on both sides.
Right. And so he's very upset. And so he screams, "Vengeance!" And like the mouths.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys, well, you can't go see it anymore.
Thank God. I have
Yeah.
I have two more.
No.
Projecting related
No.
things. The next one, it was the evil, I don't remember her name, the villainess of the story, like storms like Lord Buckingham's apartments or something. She's there to like steal crown jewels or something. But it's done.
I thought she was there to murder everybody.
Maybe both. Who knows?
Whatever.
You know,
right,
theft turns into murder all the time.
Totally.
So she's in these like royal apartments, but then the projector that they play with it is supposed to be like board game, video game. It looks like the overworlds from Super Mario Brothers 3, where it's like she's like it's like beep, 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 and then we go like into the world, and it was the same actress that this person kept murdering over and over again, and it was so obvious the same person. It just was so stupid to watch her like murder the same person over and over again.
I think it could have been fun, but I think that's the point, right? It's like it could have been fun, but it wasn't. And so to sit there for so long, you were like there for a good time, but it wasn't a good time. I don't know.
It's like when you're punctuating things that are very heavy and dramatic with like, you know, the pendulum swings the opposite way and it becomes like silly and goofy, but then you don't like balance the two. I mean, it was very imbalanced in that way. But then the worst projector feature of this play was there's a plot twist at the end. I don't remember. My brain had turned off at this point. But like, I think our Three Musketeers like corner the girl, like the evil villainess, and they're gonna take revenge. And at one point, she just breaks the fourth wall and is like, "This isn't the story how you remember it. This is a completely different retelling." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" And then what we get is they project the playwright, project her face on the background of the backdrop, the beautiful backdrop, and she's just like slyly looking into the camera, like raising her eyebrow, and you're like, nobody knows who this person is.
Right.
It wasn't like Lin-Manuel Miranda was being projected up there. It was like this, you know,
But even if that was the case, I feel like that would also be inappropriate.
Yeah, if they did that in Hamilton, I would walk out.
Right.
It was so weird.
It was weird. And I think that like you and I walked away being like, I feel like we could be writing some of these shows.
Yeah.
Have we done it? No. But could we? Yes.
Yeah. So that was my one and only time experiencing an Oregon Shakespeare Festival show. And unfortunately, it's in its 90th year now, and it just has been having a lot of trouble since COVID.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that we were willing to overlook that because, I mean, yeah, one point, like, they had just lost their president or
their executive director, and they just lost their executive director again.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is just like a month ago this happened.
See, and yeah, it was just, and so they came out and they thanked us for coming and they're like asking for more money. And it just, yeah, it's really sad. And so, anyway, so they do need our help. But
like you and I specifically, or like the people?
I'm going to say you and I and the people. I'm doing like the royal we, all of us.
Well, and I think they're producing some really interesting shows out there, and I would love to go more regularly. I mean, we were gonna go see this like gender swapped like version of Oklahoma,
right? We talked about that,
but then like the fires happened, and so everything was like kind of smoky. I think they did Beauty and the Beast that year, and I was like, well, that sounds kind of fun.
Aww.
But I think they're currently doing Into the Woods, which
no,
I think the stage show would be a lot more fun.
It probably would be. I didn't know anything about Into the Woods. Jordan and I watched it when it came into the theater.
Into the Woods and Out of the Woods. We watched it in Chiang Mai.
Yeah, in Thailand. And I was like really excited.
Meryl Streep, is that you?
And I liked some of the music, but I was like, oh my God, this is like way more intense than I was ready for. So now I'm a little traumatized and I'm like, I don't think I can watch Into the Woods.
It's a Sondheim musical, baby. You know, Act 2 always gets darker in a musical. That's just kind of how things were. So shifting gears a little bit, still within the Oregon Shakespeare Festival. So they had from 1935 on, they produced exclusively the Shakespeare canon. So his 37 plays that Shakespeare did. Mm-hmm. So they only did that from 35 until 1960. They finally produced their first non-Shakespeare play. And I think that kind of turned into what the modern Oregon Shakespeare Festival is now. OSF, if you're hip and savvy.
But do they do, if they're doing other shows, Like, do you know, do they have to do like a Shakespeare play every year, or do they choose to?
No, they choose to. I mean, it's just like, I think it's the backbone of what they're doing. I think they're always trying to complete the canon every few years, or every probably like 20 years or something. I don't know how many years.
So I'm just saying, like, if you plan to go, you can guarantee there will be at least one Shakespeare play.
I would say there's probably a guarantee of at least like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
Probably
nice.
at least 2. It looks like, and I don't know this show, but I think it's like Timon or Timon of Athens. Do you know this show?
I think I've read it. And by read it, the name. Not.
I've read that name. I've read those 3 words
I've read
before.
those words. Go ahead.
But on the OSF website, like, their timeline, it was like, ooh, 1955. It was like, oh, we complete the canon with Timon of Athens. And it was like, oh, in the 80s, we complete the canon again with Timon of Athens. It's just like all this over again. Is it Timon? Is it Timon? I don't know.
We should probably go and find out.
We should probably know. But in 2015...
I said go, not no.
Yeah, cool. In 2015, Oregon Shakespeare announced... So, 2015, they announced that they were going to have canon in a decade. And they were going to produce all 37 plays in 10 years. So 2015, it is now 2025.
Uh-oh.
I don't think they did it because of the COVID pandemic, which that's sad, right? Like they could have had this opportunity and that could have been a cool like thing. Like, oh man, this like place is going to produce all 37 shows within 10 years.
Right.
Well, and that's a lot. I mean, there's like, you know, the historical plays and there's a lot.
But also when you're having like high turnover, right? Like you're having inconsistent people in charge, like that makes it challenging because it's like you get somebody else and you're like, hey, are you on board with this? This is what we want. And like, anyway.
So bringing it back to our love of the Armory / Portland Center Stage in Portland, right?
Yes.
And how the shows that we've seen there, like I don't think we've seen a single show there that we've disliked. Like we love all of them. It was apparently originally the Portland branch of the Oregon Shakespeare Festival.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Oh, of course.
And then
oh, my God.
I guess they realized that maybe they were being spread too thin. And so in 1994, they split off and then they became Portland Center Stage.
I see.
But that's also struggling. Like, I think that's like...
And I think, again, it's like we, as the royal we need to, like, continue to support the arts. Like, just that, you know, that is really important. I mean, how many times... I mean, this is different. But like we talk about like going to the movies or like going and doing something.
Hollywood doesn't mean my...
You know, but it's like people are like, I'll just wait for it to come out on streaming, you know, the streaming platform. And I don't want to like go out and like, you know, buy tickets or see this thing in person. And it's like, if you don't, you know, when you vote with your dollar. Right?
I'd rather watch. I'm waiting for Oh Mary to come out on streaming.
You know what else Ashland makes me think of?
Tacos.
No, but I was like, I think that you and I went. I think I'm with my parents. I think I went to like health food stores. So I think that's another little thing that I'm like, oh, Ashland's super healthy. But are they? I don't know.
Also, they had a good coffee game. And, you know, a town with a good coffee game, it gets a thumbs up in my book.
True that.
True dat.
True that.
So on a future bucket list.
But you know, we didn't have a great dinner in Ashland. To go
What? We had like ramen.
To go hand in hand with the Shakespeare Festival experience. Dinner was just okay.
It was busy. Town was alive and swarming with people ready to go to Oregon Shakespeare Festival.
Maybe that's just how Ashland is every night.
Maybe.
But right, also your birthday's in the summer. So it's like Ashland in the summer.
But they do have, I mean, they have like a wealth of dining options. Like they had so many.
Yeah.
And I think there were some really cool things. So I think in the future, I would like to go with you back to Ashland. There's several restaurants and places I'd like to go to. Again, those like James Beard nominated winning restaurants.
For those that don't know, what is the James Beard thing you keep referencing?
It's kind of like the Oscars of food, or the Tonys of food, or the Emmys of food, or the Golden Globes of food.
So it's award-winning food, and Jordan loves an award.
I do love an award. I'm looking at an award that I won right now. It's mounted on our wall.
Because he loves it so much.
I love an award. You should be lucky I don't have my Jordan Wolf All-State Tubist Award up there.
I should be giving you like a daily award. Like, I'll give you this blue ribbon for...
Hey, don't threaten me with a good time.
Making dinner.
I would love if you gave me an award. Rewards? Awards.
Awards. An award as a reward.
An award as a reward.
That's literally what I just said.
Yeah.
I think it's an award as a reward.
No, you're rewarding me with
With
an
an
award. So, I'd like to go eat some good food.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to explore more of Lithia Park.
Oh,
Maybe
100 acres.
Well, they also have these like water fountains in Lithia Park, and
Oh,
they
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
have like a strong like mineral taste. I think you can drink out of them, but it's like very minerally. Also, maybe borderline like effervescent.
Ooh.
Sounds funky to me, and I love a funky water source.
Mm.
So I'd also like to go see more Oregon Shakespeare Festival. Prices aren't terrible. They're a little, I think they're probably fine, probably decent. I'd like to go see more.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well, I mean, I feel like I too would like to do those things. So I guess we better book something.
Oh my God. And we could do like an update where we actually know more of what we're talking about. And maybe we could go talk to people about maybe changing their name to its rightful name of Narnia.
Or the closet.
The closet. Hey, I live in the closet, Oregon. Wow.
Yeah, Ashland. I think there's more for us to discover and more for you to discover, unless you know everything. You're listening to this and you already know everything about Ashland. Unless you're Maddie.
Ooh, but if you know everything about Ashland, or if you have an Ashland specific story that you'd like to share, maybe you too saw Three Musketeers and have a completely different take. What you could do, you could record yourself telling us a story. You could write it out too. But if you record it or write it, you can send it to explorergonianspodcast@gmail.com.
That's true.
Or if you're really enjoying what you're hearing now and you'd like to throw us a little thank you bone, you can go on Buy Me a Coffee or Explore Gonians. We've linked it in the show notes. You could buy us a coffee if you'd like to. There's no pressure.
There's no pressure.
But, this does take time to create. And we're just saying we love you and we appreciate you, and give me an award.
Oh my God!
Because I'm a good little boy.
He needs the reward. Should we tell the story? Part 2 of Troy's story.
Oh my God, yes. So correct me if I'm wrong. This is the first time you will be reading this text from your brother Troy.
That is correct.
Okay, so Troy, as we've established, he was part of our OG team of our Yip Yip Hooray and Avatar podcast, where we talked about Avatar: The Last Airbender, the greatest show of all time. And now, Troy's ventured out outside of Oregon several times, many times, and so this is part 2 of when he and his wonderful wife went to Belize for their honeymoon.
Okay, so, all right. So we ended with
he has a slight buzz. He's been drinking on the plane
Yeah,
because he's not driving, and it's hot, and he's getting off the plane. He's like, "There's palm trees growing out of the cement."
Totally. He's just sticking out of the pavement. All right, part 2. Here we go. As we entered the Belize airport,
Interior Belize Airport day.
There were stores that sold American goods at lower prices because our money was stronger down there. $1 is worth $2 down there.
I'm not saying accurate.
I don't know. I was a bit
$1 means $2.
I was a bit surprised because I was ready to be completely submerged in another country. Now it gets interesting. Next, I remember our driver picking us up. His name was Mel. As we're driving, he proudly declared that Belize had achieved its independence from England in the 1980s.
Just like America.
According to him, America was land of the free, but Belize was home to the Caribbean Sea. And that's a quote.
Well,
from Mel. Since our brother had lived near a military base, Belize reminded me of the roads and bases in Killeen, Texas, weather included. Not long after we got going, Mel would be driving at 65 mph.
Do you think Belize does miles per hour? Or do you think they do kilometers?
I don't know. He'd be mid-sentence, then suddenly slow down and go over a speed bump. He said they were to remind drivers that people are crossing the roads and there's no clear sidewalks. Do you think he had a buzz writing this? Okay, here we go. It keeps going. Oh, and then he says, just realized I got off topic a little.
Yeah, thanks, Mel.
fast forward to our last night.
Whoa, we just started from the first day.
I don't know what's happening with
we're
this text.
ending with the last night. Okay, great. Bookend it.
Okay, fast forward to our last night at the first hotel. We were having dinner, and our waiter mentioned a casino next door.
Hot damn.
We took it with a grain of salt. What? Later.
I feel like you're going to have a follow-up with Troy.
Oh my God. Later at our room, we wanted to ice and ordered some room service.
Like they wanted to ice somebody? Did they kill somebody in Belize? Did they kill Mel?
Okay, I don't know. This is... Okay, so we wanted... We wanted to ice and order room service.
This is a great story.
Same guy
Mel?
delivered our ice and brought up the casino. What?
Have you guys heard of the casino?
This time it got our attention. Moments
Well,
later,
if two guys are talking about the casino.
moments later, I went to check it out. Sure enough, just 2 buildings down, I saw what looked like a casino. As I approached, I saw 2 men on either side of the door. They both had automatic rifles in their arms.
I think every casino should have that.
Sure. It was getting dark, so I stood and stared at the rifles for about 2 seconds.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi.
They both looked at me with an empathetic look of, "Is something wrong, sir?"
Empathetic. They're like, yeah, I too have watched a guy hold a gun in front of a casino.
I sprinted back to our hotel, ran into the room.
Sprinted?
He sprinted
Like
back.
ran from them?
Back to the hotel room and told my wife, "Wow, there really is a casino next door. Let's check it out."
Sprinted.
So we headed back over.
Wait. I'm getting this like Troy doing like the Tom Cruise run with like full excitement to go.
Right. He's like, right, there's a casino and it's guarded. Okay. So, wow, there really is a casino next door. Let's check it out. So we went back over, and the 2 armed guards held the doors open for us.
With the guns. They use the guns to pry the door open.
As we're sitting there playing slots, we see the same guy who delivered our ice, and he tells us about an underground club in the back of the casino. After playing slots for 10 minutes, we head back to the underground club. Yes, we were the only Americans in there. It all worked out, and I'm glad we went.
I want to know more about the underground club.
I don't know.
Like, was Skrillex in there?
This is exactly why I wanted to have him on to tell the story, because I don't know that we got the information we needed based off that text.
They too iced, and the same guy showed up to ice them. And we know that he started with a buzz.
And then, maybe ended with a buzz.
And then they went to Belize, and then they left Belize.
They played slots
for 10 minutes.
And then danced the night away at the club.
I sprinted back enthusiastically.
Hey, he's got a good hustle.
Well, friends, that is a little taste of Belize. There's armed guards at casinos, and you will get ice delivered if you so need it.
I think that sounds nice.
What a beautiful story. Thank you, Belize.
What a lovely way to end.
So, Katie, would you like to go someplace else next week on this podcast?
I'm ready to go somewhere else.
Maybe a national park?
I was thinking somewhere in Utah.
Utah? Wow, is that like a Book of Mormon reference? Salt Lake City.
How about Arches National Park?
Arches just makes me think of our outdoor school song, Barges. Arches, I would like to go with you. Yeah, so let's go to Arches National Park. Nothing weird happened there, right?
Yeah.
Friends, listen to one of the stupidest things I've ever done.
Oh.
And I've done plenty.
True that.
Hey, thank you so much for listening, and we are so excited to talk about a very beautiful place in America next week.
Okay, see you then.
For Ashland!
Vengeance.